It is Monday, May 22nd. Holy hell. It has been a huge Monday for me. I just actually released this TikTok on the dirtiest players on the NFL this morning, and it was bright early. And the first player on my list was Roy Williams, and I accidentally put the wrong Roy Williams, the receiver rather than the safety on that. So that was number one. And then when it comes down into this stream, I start off with not even being in the stream, and then my mic's not working either. But then here I am. So it's been a Monday. I think that this coffee needs to hurry up and just get injected into my veins before we really start getting into the goods of today. But welcome to Mafia Live, your go-to source for all breaking and NFL content, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST with your host, Dan Mitchell, the finest amateur analysis in the game. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. On this video today, we are going to be doing a bit of predictions because we all saw the, let's say, for example, the NFL Honors Awards last year. And it's definitely always cool to backtrack and think about, hey, who is going to be a shoo-in for MVP? Who is going to be a shoo-in for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year? Exactly. Who knows? But I did want to bring on a good buddy. He's a regular recurring guest on this show. We're going to be going through each and every single one of those players today and who exactly we are predicting. And this man needs no introduction at this point. But my boy, Pantherology, Clay, Rob. What's going on, my friend? So you're muted, brother.
Sorry about that. I'm good, man. Just trying to wake up here.
Dude, I had this Monday, obviously, it's taken me a while to get my shit together. I made a TikTok this morning of like top 10 dirtiest players like in NFL history. First player on the list was Roy Williams, and like I put a picture of the wrong Roy Williams, of the wide receiver Roy Williams, and
oh shit,
bro, I've been getting fucking heated on.
I bet
I'm like,
they're relentless.
I'm like, bro, relax. I'm like, homie, like I mean, it was fucking 8:30 in the morning. I was exhausted, and I screenshotted the wrong Roy Williams. My bad.
Oh man, they're relentless when you either say someone's name wrong or if you post up a picture of the wrong person. So,
oh my god, man, I am notorious like for calling like names wrong. Like I still can't pronounce Tua's last name correctly. Like,
I mean, neither can I. I can't pronounce.
I don't even. Yeah, like I mean, I don't even attempt it anymore. I just call him Tua. That's it.
Right.
Like there's no other situation on that end. But yo, man, listen, thank you for joining. It's definitely always a good thing. I am seeing a few people in the chat already. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just tuning in or you are watching this as the after live show, today we are going to be going through each and every single NFL Honors Award that we think is going to happen. We have a couple of people in here already just trying to give their predictions, starting off from there, which is pretty interesting. But okay, first one, Clay, I wanted to start off with, and you sent me over your list right before this. I was going to make a nice little graphic, but here we are. So we have the comeback player of the year. I think both you and I agree on this one, but why don't you go ahead and break the news of who you think is going to be the comeback player of the year next year?
I mean, this one's a shoe-in. I mean, Damar Hamlin. I mean, there's no question. I mean, there's nobody else, right? It's not like there's not like there was some big name besides him really last year with the whole thing. I mean, it's definitely Damar Hamlin. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I mean, honestly, when you look at this entire situation, like Damar literally could just suit up and play like 2 snaps this entire year, and he is going to win. Like there's no realm, there's no world of a possibility that this man is going to not win. Now, say for example that last year it didn't happen. I was thinking Calvin Ridley might be interesting, but I'm not sure if the NFL is going to want to allow him to win because of that whole gambling situation.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I mean, we can talk hours upon the NFL and their rulings with these guys, but yeah, Damar Hamlin, this was easy for me.
Yeah, same here. Like, I mean, I definitely think that Damar is 1,000% going to be the guy. I think you and I can certainly agree on that one right over there. So now, like, I do want to save the MVP for last. I want to save Rookie of the Year, et cetera, et cetera. But we have going into it. Let's go ahead and get into the rookies, right? Now, these rookies, one thing I will say is that they're definitely hyped as far as offensive and then also as far as defensive player or defensive rookie of the year from that perspective. So let's go on ahead and let's talk about the defensive rookie of the year. Who do you got? Who are you high on going on into this season?
I think I think this one could go either way. I do have like some honorable mentions in this aspect of things. So definitely Will Anderson is definitely top of the list. I think he's going to be a day one starter. I mean, he's automatically coming in and he's going to start. So, we're going to see what he does. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think he was the best, the best defensive player in the draft, honestly. But I can see some other guys like, Christian Gonzalez. I could see also, Cam Smith. I could also see who else is another guy? Oh, Jalen Carter. But Jalen Carter is kind of hard for me due to the fact that like he's going to be playing behind Cox and the big boy. What is his name? Jordan Davis. So I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say him. If he wasn't playing behind them, I probably put him my second pick, but I'm going to go Will Anderson.
Yeah, no. Like, I mean, I would probably have to say the exact same thing. I would have to say that I think Jalen Carter is going to run away with this right now. I know that he has a little bit more. He might not have as much production. Like Will Anderson, he's going to be thrown out there immediately. He's going to be, like that guy that's going to see the most snaps. But I just see Jalen Carter really being able to flourish within that Philadelphia's sort of defensive line, just because of everything that they lost this last season. I'm very high on this guy. I think that he is going to be honestly, just look at that unit right there. You know what I mean? I think that Philly made a wonderful pick on this aspect, and I'm thinking that this guy is almost an absolute shoe-in for defensive rookie of the year, man. I'm feeling it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Will Anderson, but I think that with Jalen Carter, he's going to make a bit more of an impact, especially since this team is going to be a contender. I still think that the Texans are, still a bit away. Which, by the way, and so did you see that Clowney wants back in Houston?
Yeah, I did see that. And I mean, he got drafted by them, and Clowney's, I was high on Clowney coming in. I thought he was going to be thought he was going to be more like how Myles Garrett has been, but obviously he hasn't panned out that way. I mean, Houston didn't use him correctly for the first couple of years. I mean, he's an edge rusher. He's not an outside linebacker, which is what they were playing him as. So, but we'll see. Yeah. I mean, I hope he does go back. I'd like to see Clowney finish off his career where he started and call it a day.
Would you consider him to be a bust?
I don't think so. I mean, a bust is a guy that just does, it's like goes out there and just can't do anything. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney he's done some stuff on the field. I mean, he's played, he's started, he's had I think he's been a Pro Bowl at least once or twice. So I mean, Jamarcus Russell, that's a bust. That's a true bust.
That's the definition of a bust, I would probably have to say right then and there. But I mean, I'm super interested to see what's going on. But with the defensive rookie of the year, Clay as Will Anderson, and then I have Jalen Carter going into it as well. All right. So I'm gonna take this up right here. I know everyone in the world, like 99% of people, are gonna say this one guy, and I know that this is gonna come off as bias. I think you already know who I'm talking about. Offensive rookie of the year. This guy, hear me out. Very first tight end ever to win offensive rookie of the year, and that is this gentleman, Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid, man. Listen, it's going to be a tight race. It's going to be a tight race between Bijan Robinson and him. But when you look at a damn day one contributor, and the Buffalo Bills need a threat in the slot, so he's going to be utilized almost immediately. He's going to be Josh Allen's safety blanket. And I have a feeling that this guy is going to receive for over 1,000 yards his first year. He's going to have a bunch of touchdowns. He's a red zone threat. He's a great route runner. Huge impact on this team. And I think that he is going to win. I think it's going to be close, but I think that we're going to see the very first tight end ever win offensive rookie of the year in Dalton Kincaid. I am high on this dude, and I really hope that he does not disappoint me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you better hope he doesn't make you eat your words.
I know, right? I know, man.
Because I've been
news, man. Yeah,
trust me. I mean, doing YouTube and predicting things and being high on guys, they can make you look like a clown real quick. But my rookie of the year, I'm going to go with. I mean, I was going to be biased and say Bryce, but I'm not. I'm going to take Bijan Robinson. I think Bijan
Robinson.
I'm taking Bijan. I think Atlanta's going to. They're using him. I've been watching his film lately with Atlanta. They're using him in the backfield. They're also throwing him out in the slot to be a wide receiver too. So he's going to be kind of all over the field, doing it all for the Falcons. So, and they're going to need all the help they can get with Taylor Hinkie and calling the play. So
are they calling Heineke to be the starter over in Atlanta right now, or no?
They sure are.
Got it. So not Heineke. Desmond Ridder.
Nope.
It's not Desmond Ridder. Nothing like that. Damn, man. We'll see. Yeah. Well, hey, man. Listen, I'm fine with Bijan Robinson. I'm fine with it. I'm excited to see the man play. I really think that he's going to be able to knock it out. So far we've got comeback player of the year. We got defensive rookie of the year, Will Anderson. And we got offensive rookie of the year, Bijan Robinson and Dalton Kincaid. So we're getting there. Now we're talking defensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year, man. Who you got?
Micah Parsons.
Why is that?
He's the best. He's the best defensive player in the league. Right now, out of any position, he is the best player in the NFL defensively. I mean, the guy can rush. He's a great pass. He's a great pass rusher. He's a great run stopper as well. But he can also, cover the pass. I mean, he kind of just does it all for the Cowboys. And Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, has done very well with him. I think he's. I mean, there's people already saying he's the early favorite. Like even right here, it's already saying that from Sports Illustrated. So, I've always been high on Micah Parsons. So I'm going to take him.
Yeah. No, like, I mean, I think that this is going to be a shoe-in as well. Like, I mean, I think that he's like at this point in his career where he's going to be like knocking on the door at Jerry Jones for an absolute bag here coming up.
Yeah.
So take advantage of as much as you can, like, out of this young man, but he's definitely going to be sort of, let's just say, turning some heads when it comes down into the football year this year, man. I am absolutely pumped about that one. Okay, so we both agree on defensive player of the year. We got Micah Parsons. Now let's go offensive player of the year. This is me. This is me right now, and I know that this is going to be biased once again, but trust me, this is the last Bills player that I have on here. This is the last Bills player that I have on here, but I have none other than Stephon Diggs. Because, hear me out, when it comes down into Stephon Diggs, last year he suffered from really not having a lot of distractions out there, not having a lot of distractions from his offensive perspective. He was Josh Allen's only potential weapon for the most part, and that potential weapon was legitimately double teamed on the regular. We had nobody in the slot. We had absolutely no running game. I think this year is going to be the point where now you have a weapon out of the slot. Now you have a Damian Harris. Now you have Latavius Murray, who are going to be behind, that are also going to be somebody to watch out for. And I think this is going to open up a lot of opportunities for Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen's chemistry to take that next step right then and there. I think that this guy is absolutely about to blow up. I do know, I'm looking at your list right now, and I can see that guy as well. He always is. He's going to be one of the only options. But I have Stephon Diggs, Offensive Rookie of the Year, going into the 2023.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a little curveball at you, though, now, because I was thinking about this when I sent my list over for a minute. Okay. And I'm going to explain why I'm actually going to change my answer. And I'll be honest, my first answer was Justin Jefferson, everyone. But
okay,
I'm changing my answer due to the fact it's going to tie into who I have as my MVP. Jamar Chase, I think, is actually going to be the offensive player.
Jamar Chase, huh? You see him?
Yeah, I'm taking Jamar Chase. I think he's going to be the offensive player of the year. It's going to tie into my MVP, which is obviously kind of already explaining who that is. But
yeah,
I just think that it's his turn now to get the award. I mean, I think he's another him and Justin Jefferson are just so damn good. It's and between and Stephon Diggs. I mean, those are your kind of the top three guys when I think of who are my top three wide receivers. If I'm picking, but it's very hard. I mean, you can flip-flop wide receivers in the NFL and who your top three are. You could go Adams, you could go Hill, you could go Jefferson, Chase. I mean, any of those guys can win this award. I mean, any of those guys can win this award. It's very hard for me, but I'm going to take Jamar Chase. I think it's his turn to win it.
And so it's an app, dude. Like, I mean, like that entire conference is absolutely just stacked. Like, I mean, like I like Jamar Chase. Like, I just see like there's so many opportunities for Burrow to go to, as well, right? Yeah. Like with T. Higgins, right, as well. Like best wide receiving trio in there. So, like, I mean, I wonder if you'll see a share of targets to win it. But I don't hate that answer. I really don't.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As long as Chase stays healthy and he has another year like he did, like almost his rookie year, I can see him winning it.
I got it. All right. Now we're getting into the interesting things. We've already been through defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, comeback, and then we got the rookies out of the way as well. Let's talk about coach of the year, baby. Who we got?
Dan Campbell. I'm very high on the
Lions.
The Lions this year. I think they're going to take that division. I mean, I just think that he is well deserving. If you watch this guy, how passionate he is about coaching and how passionate he is about the Lions, he's well deserved of it. And if he wins that division and, gets them back to the playoffs, I really think he deserves the coach of the year.
Really? Yeah, no, man. Like, I mean, last year it was Brian Dable for the Giants, but I mean, I'm definitely
Well
seeing.
deserved for him too.
Yeah. Well deserved going into it. But I mean, I definitely see Dan Campbell being a shoe-in. That and Doug Peterson as well. I thought he was pretty close last year from where he is. He's going to be in the running. But I think that if he can get over the hump and if he can get his team into the playoffs, and if they can make a run in the playoffs as well, like win, I'd say at least one playoff game, I think that Dan Campbell's going to be it. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been a great leader for that organization. He's really turned around their offense. As long as some of those new defensive additions right to the team include and improve going into it, I see this being absolutely crazy.
Because he doesn't have to worry about the only team he probably has to worry about in that division. I would say, I mean, I'm more scared of the Bears if I'm anybody in that division than I am the Vikings. I think we've talked about this before. I think the Vikings are going to take a step back. That's why I kind of changed Justin Jefferson from that offensive player of the year status. I still think he's going to have 1,000-yard year because he's just that kind of guy. But I think with and then the Packers losing, Aaron Rodgers, I can't trust Jordan Love nor that wide receiver core. I mean, they got a great defense over there in Green Bay, but, when it comes down to it, if Dan Campbell can just do what Brian Dable did last year, I don't see why he can't, win it either.
Yeah. No. You and I can definitely agree on that one. Now, this is where I think we're going to be a little different. So you chose an MVP for a quarterback for MVP, but you're going to be surprised on my pick. It's not Josh Allen, okay? And you know what? I don't want Josh Allen to win MVP because as far as stats of winning a Super Bowl really aren't as favorable to these, but this is my MVP right here. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I see Trevor Lawrence absolutely having a season this year for a number of reasons. Number one, I think that he really stepped into his own, especially toward the second half of last season. Great run game, solid offensive line, have Calvin Ridley coming back. And on top of this, their schedule is absolutely cupcake going into the season. No offense, but they are playing the NFC South. And they are in the AFC South as well. Not the strongest divisions on the face of the planet, but I am seeing Trevor Lawrence winning this MVP, being a dark horse candidate. I see this kid taking the league by damn storm this year. I really, really do. Not Josh Allen, not Joe Burrow, not Patrick Mahomes. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is going to win MVP going into 2023.
I really don't disagree. I don't disagree with your pick by any means. Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see it. Absolutely can. And I'm high on Trevor Lawrence this year as well. I just love this guy. I think he's the best. I personally think he's the best quarterback in the NFL from a tangible standpoint, from football IQ standpoint, mechanics standpoint. He kind of just has it all. And he has a great team around him to do so. And I'm taking Joe Burrow. I think it's
Joe Burrow.
He's there, man. He's second. He comes, he gets injured his rookie year, comes back, takes his team to the Super Bowl. Now last year fell short, right? But I think that they're one step away, man. I mean, they're really just one step away. And it's because every year this guy comes in and plays his heart out and shows out and just shows why he's one of the top three guys, even though in my opinion, I think he's number one. I think he's even better than Pat Mahomes. And that's just, I know that's saying a lot. I just think that there's reasons why I say that he's number one over Pat Mahomes. It's just because I think that Pat Mahomes is I think styles win fights, the system fit quarterbacks. And I think the system over there at Kansas City is doing well for Pat Mahomes. If it wasn't for Andy Reid, I don't think Pat Mahomes would be who he is, but that's neither here nor there.
Exactly.
But I think Joe Shiesty is the man.
Yeah. No, honestly, with all the weapons that he has right now, there's no excuse for him not to at least be in the conversation. He was last year in the conversation by itself, and he is going to have a very, very good career in the NFL, and I'm excited to see what else he could possibly do. But
for sure,
Clay, once again, man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. NFL show. Listen, Clay is going to be a regular guest on this show where we just try and entertain you as much as humanly possible, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST. Clay, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, brother. All right, y'all. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, do keep in mind this is the Buffalo Bills' first day of OTAs. So I am doing Buffalo Bills happy hour, Bills Mafia happy hour, which I'm going live at about 5 o'clock EST. That's where the majority of the storylines are going to be out. I'm going to sort of treat it as a Q&A. So if you're a Bills fan or if you're just an NFL fan and you rock with me, then feel free to go on ahead and join that. I will be live at about 5 p.m. EST, and we can just go from there. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I will see you a little later. And deuces.